Hey guys, welcome to the Debu Neko Otaku fan channel. It's a new season again, and that means it's time for a new anime preview. Let's take a look at the exciting anime coming out in October 2025. If you patiently watch this video to the end, I believe you may find the anime you're looking for. As usual, I'll introduce them according to their release dates from Wikipedia. And I will also display the names and genres of each anime in the top left corner. Please note that some anime may use different translated names in English after their release, and I hope you're aware of this. Now, let's take a look at these new anime. Hero without a class. Who even needs skills? In this world, the professional is a blessing of the goddess. However, MC had been identified as a jobless guy since he was young. That means he has to face tons of trouble on his way in the future. It's a story about how the MC overcame those trials. Kakuryou. Bed and Breakfast for Spirits Season 2, the heroine Aoi Tsubaki is a college student who has the ability to see Ayakashi, a trait she inherited from her deceased grandfather. One day, when Aoi walks past a Torii shrine, she sees an Ayakashi sitting there who announces that it is hungry. However, after giving it food, Aoi is kidnapped by the Ayakashi, an ogre called Odana. He takes her to the Hidden Realm, a world where all the Ayakashi live. He tells Aoi that her grandfather owed him a debt, and as compensation, she must marry him. Aoi negotiates with the ogre instead, asking to work at the ogre's inn, the Tenjinya. Yano-kun's Ordinary Days. It's a romantic school-setting story about a schoolgirl called Yoshida, who takes care of the super unlucky MC Yano in his daily life in their school. During this time, the relationship between the MC and Yoshida is changing. A Star Brighter Than the Sun. A first love story between the childhood friends Sai Iwata and Koki Kamishiro. Sai Iwata is a girl who is stronger than average. She had a crush on Koki Kamishiro, who was weak and she was helping. But now that he has grown taller and become more popular, she has become far away from him. Meanwhile, they meet at the last sports festival in middle school, and their first love begins to move. A sparkling first love story. Let's play. The stage is Los Angeles, USA. The heroine, Sam Young, a 22-year-old who dreams of becoming a game creator, has lived his life avoiding deep relationships with men, but suddenly becomes close to 3 men, gradually breaking out of the shell of her heart. That's how her growth story began. My Awkward Senpai, Azusa Kanawa, is an office lady who has an evaluation that even though she's pretty, she's also harsh and scary. This time, Kanawa is appointed to be in charge of training Kamigawa, a new employee who joined the company this year. An office romantic comedy is beginning. This monster wants to eat me. I've come to eat you. So softly utters the mermaid Shiori as she emerges from the sea and takes high school girl Hinako by the hand. Hinako lives alone in a town by the sea and possesses an unusually delicious body that is irresistible to nearby monsters. To ensure that she matures to the best condition, Shiori seeks to protect Hinako, also that someday she can devour every piece of her. A longing thought comes to Hinako's mind. Maybe this monster can make my wish come true. Backstabbed in a backwater dungeon, my trusted companions tried to kill me, but thanks to the gift of an unlimited gacha, I got Elvil 99999 friends and am out for revenge on my former members and the world. When I read you this full title, which is long as hell above, you may already know what's going to happen in the main story of this anime. Ganglion. The series follows Kenji Isobe, who works for the Ganglion Company, also known as Belva. He spends his days helping the company attain world domination. However, he has to fight opponents such as the hero Hope Man, who aim to bring justice to the world and defeat Belve and the others. Hyakusho Kizoku Season 3 is an anime about Arakawa Hiromu, aka the author herself. She explains the content of this work based on her personal experience on the family ranch, and uses her agricultural knowledge to tease Ishii, aka the editor in charge of this work. Nohara Hiroshi Hiromeshi no Ryugi is a cooking anime that is a spin-off of Yoshito Usui's Crayon Shinchan series, focusing on Hiroshi Nohara, Shinchan's father and the head of the Nohara family. Past the monster meat, Melody. A count's daughter has a hobby that no one understands. She enjoys eating monsters that harm humans. One day, she was saved by a duke called Aristide, even though Aristide has a scary nickname called Mad Blood Duke. In fact, he is a heartwarming good guy. A series of romantic stories will continue in this strange couple in others' eyes. Potion Wagami Otasukeru is an anime about a high school student called Keide who is transferred to an isekai. She can only use her potion-making skill to struggle in this world and try to find her way back to Japan. Shibake, a historical fantasy anime set in Edo, Japan. Ichitaro, a young man who lives in Nagasakiya, has been weak since birth and is unable to go out. However, he is always protected by yokai, such as Shirasawa and Inugami. He didn't know that until one night he was assaulted by a group of murderers. From that day on, a series of bizarre murders began to occur in Edo. With the help of yokai, the search for Ichitaro's underachievers begins. A wild last boss appeared. X-Gate Online is an MMO taken over by a single player's avatar, Rufus Mafal, the unofficial last boss. Since others cannot enjoy the game like this, she agrees to face off against the other top players in a final battle, and, as planned, is defeated. However, the game then asks whether she would like a new challenge, and she promptly accepts, after which she finds herself transported into the game's world as Rufus 200 years after her defeat. Learning that her NPC subordinates, the 12 Heavenly Stars, are on a rampage, she sets off on a journey to stop them, all while having to bear with her avatar's infamy. Inexpressive Kashiwada and expressive Uta, yet another school-setting romantic comedy between two junior high school students. The male protagonist, Ota, always shows a lot of face. However, the female protagonist, Kashiwada, does not show her face. Kagaku Boken Survival, Season 2, an anime about science and courage. The MC team will try to survive in many harsh conditions. May I ask for one final thing? The heroine, Scarlet, was told that her engagement with the second prince was being cancelled unreasonably. Then followed the typical playbook of the valiant heroine. A revenge story is beginning, but Scarlet's hidden hobby, boxing, showed in public when she found her true nature. My Hero Academia Season 8, one of the most successful anime of recent years. I think I don't need to introduce too much. By the way, here is a piece of sad news for you guys. It's the final season of this work. Sanda, in a near-future Japan, Christmas has faded into myth, and the birth rate has dropped so dramatically that children are now the most precious commodity. Society has artificially extended adolescence to preserve its youth, and traditional holidays like Christmas are a mere legend of the past. Sanda Kazushige is a middle school student who unexpectedly becomes entangled in a strange and dangerous mystery. When his classmate, Fuyumura Shiori, accuses him of carrying a curse that could help find her missing friend, Onoichi, Sanda's life takes a dramatic turn. Together, they embark on an incredible adventure to unravel the truth behind Ichi's disappearance and uncover the hidden magic of Christmas itself. Spy Family Season 3, yet another successful anime in recent years. It follows a family in which all the family members cover their true identities to live together just like a normal family. If you like comedy, I personally recommend you add this anime to your watch list. Dare I say, it would never let you down. Tales of Wedding Rings Season 2, a story about the MC needing to collect all the wedding rings and also marriage with the holders, to obtain the power of those wedding rings to save the world. The banished court magician aims to become the strongest, just as the title, a banished court magician on his journey to the strongest. To Your Eternity Season 3, a mysterious being, the Beholder, creates a white orb later named Fushi by a spirited girl. It was used to observe the world, so it's immortal. In this season, Fushi will explore the modern world. Touring After the Apocalypse follows two girls, Yuko and Airi, to travel around the apocalyptic world. You may find something different than the original world we knew. Alma-chan wants to be a family. Alma-chan is a human-like war robot, but how is her normal daily life when she's out of duty? Her parents, aka the scientists who made her, and Alma-chan herself will find the answer. Aono Orchestra Season 2 tells a story about music in a middle school. The MC, Hajime Aono, a boy who loved to play his violin, abandoned playing the violin when his parents divorced. Until he met an aspiring violinist, Ritsuko Akine, he decided to regain his talent by joining the orchestra club. Digimon Beat Break, its world setting is quite similar to the well-known work Pokemon, but the Digimons evolved from AI. Kingdom Season 6 is a war-themed anime set against the historical backdrop of the Warring States period in ancient China, and the main story in this season is about the war between Qin and Zhao. Mechanical Marie, Arthur is the son of a big business group's boss. However, he didn't like human beings. One day, a guy claims he has an all-around mechanical maid called Marie who can serve Arthur well. Arthur accepts that and starts living with Marie. But here's a fun fact. Marie is not a robot, but a real human. She has to hide this every single day with Arthur. A funny story starts here. My friend's little sister has it in for me. The series follows Akiteru Oboshi, an ordinary student who is best friends with his classmate Ozuma Koinata. Iroha, Ozuma's younger sister, often hangs out at his house and acts annoying towards him, a contrast to her in-school persona as a kind and diligent honor student. One day, he is asked by his uncle to start a relationship with his cousin Mashiro Tsukinomori, in exchange for his providing support for his game development group, which they call the Fifth Floor Alliance. Meanwhile, Iroha aims to be a professional voice actress, providing the voices for the Fifth Floor Alliance's work, but does so in secret due to her family's disapproval of her interests. One Punch Man Season 3, and about 6 years long wait after the second season was on air. Our one-hit killed hero Saitama is back. If you like superheroes and comedy, this anime may be the best choice for you. Ranma Half Season 2, a martial arts anime, follows a sex-changing MC called Ranma, and the story stage is set in China. Reincarnated as the daughter of the legendary hero and the Queen of Spirits, 10 years ago, a hero saved the kingdom from a horde of demons. However, he was badly injured. His spirit partner whisked him off to her world to tend to him. Years later, he returns with a daughter, and both are pulled into a centuries-long dark history surrounding the royal family. CV's The Sound of Heroes, yet another music anime in this season, follows a co-ed music group called CVIS, which is led by Yosuke, shaking up the global music scene with their unmatched vocals and performances. Tojima wants to be a Kamen Rider. Have you ever dreamed about being a superhero when you were young? If so, the MC Tamaji is the same as you. Even now, he's a middle-aged guy. He decided to achieve his dream as a real Kamen Rider in real life. Uma Musume Cinderella Grey Part 2, just as its name suggests, is a sub-series in the Uma Musume, aka the Horse Girls in literal. The story will continue to follow Cinderella Grey, who is going to challenge other Uma Musume outside Japan. A mangaka's weirdly wonderful workplace tells an office story in the manga team. Let this grieving soul retire. Woe is the weakling who leads the strongest party Season 2, follows a powerful MC, Cry Andre, who doesn't want to work anymore, but almost everyone still needs him. Plus-sized misadventures in love. This is the punishment for a fat, ugly girl like me falling in love with someone as beautiful as you. Yumeko had a mountain of complexes about herself. Then, a terrible accident befalls her. Though somehow saved from the brink of death, Yumeko wakes up a completely different person. Those around her can't hide their surprise and wonderment at this 180 degrees change. However, Yumeko's newfound hyper-positive attitude begins to alter her surroundings as well. Worries and complexes can affect anyone, and Yumeko will chop right through those of her various supporting characters. Hands off. Sawaranaide Kotesashi-kun. Koyo Kotesashi aims to become a sports doctor. He becomes a massage specialist at Seiha University High School, a school known for its powerhouse sports teams. There, he provides massage services to unique athletic girls. 3 Nenzgumi Ginpachi Sensei. It's a spin-off of Gintama, aka a very long-life TV anime series, and also the first anime I watched in my otaku life. It will follow Gintama's style and bring us something funny in a school-setting new story. 2200 Nen Neko no Kuni Nippon. The story is set in Japan in 2200. Affected by the declining birth rate, Japan is no longer the country of the Japanese at that time, but the country of the Nekos, aka the cats. And I guess the name of Japan, Nippon, should be renamed as Nippon as well. If that comes true, I, Debu Neko, will move to Nippon immediately. A gatherer's adventure in Isekai. Takeru Kamishiro is a regular guy with an ordinary office job, but finds himself summoned to another world. Takeru starts his new life in Maidis, a world with swords and magic, fully equipped with multiple skills. Not only does he have enhanced physical and amazing magic abilities, but he also has the power to search for valuable items. With the cheat skills he's been provided, Takeru starts his new adventure in the new Isekai. Chitose is in the Ramune Bottle Part 1. Saku Chitose, a popular boy and class president, is the leader of a group of students named Team Chitose. Among its members is Yuko Hiragi, a female student who has feelings for him, though he is unaware. One day, Saku is asked by a teacher to convince a shut-in student, Kenta Yamazaki, to return to school. The series follows Saku, Yuko, and the other members of Team Chitose helping other students deal with their problems. My status as an assassin obviously exceeds the hero's. Akira Oda is the kind of guy who people forget is even there. His unassuming nature pays off, though, when his entire class is swept away to a fantasy world, and he slips easily into his new role as a silent assassin. Between his suspiciously high starting stats and too many details that don't fit, Akira is sure something is wrong. But digging into royal secrets is a dangerous game, and when Akira uncovers an evil scheme, he also makes a powerful enemy, the very king who brought him to this world. Campfire Cooking in Another World with My Absurd Skill, Season 2. Tsuyoshi Makoto was nothing special in modern Japan, so when he was summoned to a world of swordplay and sorcery, he thought he was ready for the adventure of a lifetime. Too bad the kingdom that summoned him only got him by mistake. Not only was he not one of the 3 summoned heroes, but his stats were laughable compared to theirs. On top of that, there's something really sketchy about this kingdom. He immediately left to make his own way in this other world. The only thing Makoto can rely on is his unique skill, the online supermarket, a skill that allows him to buy modern goods in a fantasy world. It's useless for combat, but if he plays his cards right, he could lead a comfortable life. At least, that's what Makoto thinks. But it turns out modern food bought with this skill has some absurd effects. Mukuda introduces ridiculously tasty modern cooking to a fantasy world and gets some ridiculous repeat customers begging for more. Ninja vs. Gokudo. Since before the dawn of memory, one thing has defined human history: the war between ninja and yakuza. This coarse and manly manga follows 2 members of these warring tribes who fill the gutters of modern Tokyo with blood to determine which elemental force will reign supreme. Wandance. Kaboku has always just gone with the flow, marching in step to the drumbeat of the expectations of those around him. Parents, school, plans for the future. It feels predictable, safe, and empty. But one night, Kaboku's at school late, and he happens on a girl alone, moving wildly, turning a blank space of concrete into a canvas. This is Hikari Wanda, a member of the hip-hop dance club. Kaboku is immediately smitten, but the road to stepping out of his shell is a long one. The club is almost entirely girls, and they're all, well, way better than him. What's ahead is unknown, and that's terrifying, but it also means for the first time in Kaboku's life, a taste of freedom. The dark history of the reincarnated villainess, Konoha Sato has a dark history, written throughout middle school. A fantasy adventure of love and magic about the Count's daughter, Konoha Magnolia, and the knights who love her. But when it looks like that dark history is going to be uncovered by her mother, Konoha panics and dies in a traffic accident. Opening her eyes, she finds that she's been reincarnated into the world of her own dark history as Iana Magnolia, the worst villainess of her own creation. Gnosia, the Gnosia lie. Pretending to be human, they'll get in close, trick and deceive, and then eradicate each person in the vicinity from the universe, one victim at a time. The crew of a drifting spaceship facing off against a mysterious and deadly threat known as the Gnosia, and having no idea who among them is really the enemy, formulates a desperate plan for survival. The most suspicious among them will be put into cold sleep, one by one, in an effort to completely rid the ship of Gnosia. However, it is almost impossible to tell whether each person put into cold sleep was really Gnosia, or simply a poor, unfortunate scapegoat, sacrificed by the Gnosia for their own survival. Lil Miss Vampire can't suck right. The series follows Luna Ishikawa, a popular student who has a reputation among her classmates for being cold and mysterious. Despite being a vampire, she has difficulties in sucking blood, much to her chagrin. When her classmate Tatsuta Otori learns her secret, he offers to let her suck his blood in exchange for him training her how to suck blood better. Isekai Quartet Season 3. It's about how the 4 different isekai anime protagonists gather in the same school and start the funny new story in this anime. With you, our love will make it through. The story is set in a world where humans and beast folk coexist amidst societal prejudices. High school student Mari's life takes an unexpected turn when she encounters Tsunagu, a beast folk student who transfers into her class. Initially apprehensive, Mari soon discovers Tsunagu's gentle and steadfast nature, leading to a deepening bond that challenges societal norms and her own perceptions. Monster Strike. Deadverse Reloaded. Ren Homura returns to his former residence, yet he feels very uncomfortable. He possesses no memory of having lived there. Without warning or his permission, a game called Monster Strike installs itself into Ren's smartphone. Monsters of the game then literally fly out from his smartphone and start fighting on the streets. Watching the fighting in amazement, Ren starts picking up his lost memories. Future Kid Takara. It's a short anime about time traveling. The MC educates the people to keep their eyes on climate change, so that can protect our only Earth. Blue Miburo Season 2. The story starts in 1863, in Kyoto. Chirinu Neo is a docile and kind boy, devoted to his family, but deep down inside, he burns with a fervent desire for justice. His turbulent blue spring, a Japanese idiom referring to one's adolescence, begins when he meets Hijikata Toshizo and Okita Soji of the Miburo, a group of hated ronin. Moved by his pure and sincere wish to change the world, Neo joins the Miburo, abbreviation of Mibu Roshigumi, one of the most dangerous groups of swordsmen, which eventually would become the Shinsengumi. Kanagawa ni Sunderu Elf. It's a fantasy anime about the elves' lives in Japan, and the story is about their daily life. Above is all the information about the anime set to premiere in October 2025. Which anime do you prefer? I'm happy to see you leave those names in the comments below. Also, please note that I didn't watch every single anime I mentioned above. So if there are inaccuracies or omissions in the information I provided, feel free to point them out as well. I'll recheck and fix them in the comments. Your understanding is appreciated. What's more, if you don't want to go back to reviewing these anime plots again and again, don't worry, I gathered all these anime with their genres into an Excel sheet for you guys. And I'll put the link in the description below. I hope you'll enjoy the anime in the 2025 fall. If you find this video helpful, I hope you can support this video by giving it a like. If you want to watch the preview for new seasons of anime like this video in the future, you can subscribe to my channel. Then you will not miss the next updates. See you in the next video. Peace.